Yo, what's going on, Trojan family? Welcome to the USC LAFB show here on the LAFB network. We are Los Angeles Sports. This is your daily dose of USC Trojans news. Hopefully I get through this. I apologize. I have been under the weather, hence why I'm not at USC practice right now. Of course, the one practice I miss, game week, big news announced. But ironically, because I wasn't at practice, I can actually make this video. I already have an article up on LAFB. I can break it this way a lot faster, whereas if I had to come all the way home, I probably wouldn't get up till tomorrow morning or late tonight. So kind of an odd win, if you will. But it's game week, Missouri State this Saturday at the Call-In, and we have our starting center for this game. Now, will this remain the starting center the entirety of the season? That is to be seen, but this is certainly a good sign in terms of solidifying the spot. Lincoln Riley confirmed today that former walk-on Kilian O'Connor will be the USC Trojans starting center, beating out Syracuse transfer John Ray Reed. Now, I'm sure there is a lot of differing opinions about this from everyone in the Trojan family. I'm sure all of them are kind and nice and thoughtful. But let's first and foremost, huge hats off and congrats to Kilian O'Connor. Anytime a walk-on, let alone gets on scholarship, but then wins a starting job, that tells you what kind of person they are. That demonstrates the kind of character and work ethic and drive and will to win they have. And sometimes that can only get you so far, right? Like we all know the movie Rudy. He had all those traits, but he just still only got in on one play or two plays in that at the end of the game, just because he didn't have the size, the speed of all the elite players. So I get that. Sometimes it only gets you so far. But when your body starts to grow, when your technique gets better, when your leadership grows, you kind of break the mold of being a former walk-on. Now you're just a good football player. You've had to fight and claw your way to get where you are. And then at some point, everyone just has to say, like, this is just a damn good football player. This isn't a guy that just wants to be here and is working hard and loves the USC Trojans. This guy's actually solid. So, first and foremost, hats off to Kilian O'Connor. Just a huge accomplishment. Coming from someone, obviously I was not even close to the same level of football player, but coming from someone that played some high school ball and was always undersized and always overlooked and had to work twice as hard. Like, it's a huge accomplishment. So, before anyone has their opinions on anything, like, that should be first and foremost. Hats off to the kid for getting to where he is, to earning the right to be the leader of the USC Trojans offensive line. And arguably one of the leaders of just the offense. I mean, the center is one of the told leaders of the offense in terms of, calling out the defense, the checkdowns, the check with me's, and whatnot. So it's a huge honor. It's a huge responsibility. And he certainly earned that through the spring, through the fall. Right? So, okay, let's talk now about John Ray Reed. What happened? When John Ray Reed hit the portal, transferred to USC from Syracuse, it was immediately seen by anyone, including me, great, center position locked down. This guy was a solid center at Syracuse, multi-year starter. He would be Lincoln Riley's first true center that he's had since being at USC. Obviously, we know of all the guys that have shifted down the line of scrimmage. Justin Dedich, Jonah Monheim to play center for Lincoln Riley. So this will be the first true center that has played big boy football from the center position for multiple years. Good PFF grades, good size. What happened? Everyone can, without us being at practice and seeing it all went down, to me, this is more of a Kilian winning the job, not John Ray losing the job. And when we talked to John Ray Reed at USC Media Day, it was kind of floated out there. I can't remember the exact, maybe me. I can't remember who asked the exact question, to be honest with you. But someone floated like, what does it take to start at USC? Like, you transferred in, what does it take to start? He immediately just looked across the room and pointed, beating out that guy, and pointed to Kilian O'Connor. Like, he knew then and there, like, this was not his job. Even though we all crowned it for him, which was no fault of his own. But he knew that he was going up against someone that wanted it just as bad as he did. And so I think it was more that everyone else was sleeping on O'Connor than necessarily Jean-Ray Reed not living up to what the thought he would be when he transferred. Remember, O'Connor played in that Texas A&M game, showed some good stuff. He's been around the team for a long time. Everyone's talked about his leadership. Everyone talked about his love for the program. Not to say that Jean-Ray Reed doesn't have that. I mean, his nickname is, I think someone corrected me last episode that it's the General. I think I said the Admiral. The General is his nickname because of his leadership, because of the way he speaks. I mean, he's a beloved player. And these are tough decisions by the coaching staff to make. So, 2 more points on that. One, and people might see this as me just sunshine pumping or trying to be too positive here, but this is a good sign from Lincoln Riley and Zach Hansen. Because, and they've done this before, maybe not as publicized, but this has happened before, and I think they have not gotten credit for this, the USC staff, that is. I don't know exactly, maybe it's out there on On3 evaluation. I don't know exactly what Jean-Ray Reed's NIL package was for him to come over here. Certainly he got paid something when he hit the portal. And to essentially know you're paying a guy and naming a walk-on who, again, I don't know, and I'd never like to speculate what anyone's getting paid, but I think the writing's on the wall is probably not getting much, if any. His scholarship for him is probably more than what the program originally bargained for, right? Getting him on scholarship, that is. So naming that guy truly based on this guy we think is the best man for the job. We don't care about the offseason. We don't care about what we paid for someone else. We don't care if we're just going to eat that money now. We believe this guy is the best starter for the job. So they've done this before. We kind of know this with the Malachi Nelson situation a little bit. Some of it reading between the lines, some of it hearing stuff behind the scenes, but he obviously was the premier 5-star quarterback. We've kind of seen how his career has gone down. Kudos to him. He won the starting job at UTEP, so hopefully he can get things back on track. But that was another situation where Lincoln Riley said, hey, I don't care you're the 5-star. I don't care that we're paying you this kind of NIL or whatever issues. There was NIL issues with that whole situation as well. But you're not ready. Like, you're not ready. We're not just trotting you out there because we're paying you. So maybe other people don't care. I think that says something about your coaching staff that they really, and it says something too with Chad Bowden and his staff that Lincoln Riley can just be like, hey, you're on NIL, I'm on coaching on the field. Like when they walk through those doors, there's no dollar signs. Nothing. There's the Trojan emblem, and there's the cardinal in gold and the number on the back of your jersey. That's all I see. I don't care what dollar sign, who has what. You may get paid a lot, you may not be playing. So, and none of that at all is to show any disrespect to Jean-Ray Reed. I'm trying to paint the picture of, like, I think it's good when your coach and his staff, and most do, you would hope, right? You would assume so. But they put the best player out there, not just the more expensive player. So that's that. And then the last thing I'll say here, on Monday during Trojans Live, Lincoln Riley was asked kind of a similar question, maybe not a straightforward, but like, how's your offensive line looking? And he mentioned, obviously, Elijah Page, Alani Noah are kind of your set starters, left tackle, right guard. He mentioned Kilian O'Connor and Jean-Ray Reed would play. And then he mentioned Tobias Raymond will be a starter. Didn't say what position. And also mentioned Justin Tanu. So, based on this Kilian O'Connor news, we would assume that the starting offensive line come Saturday against the Missouri State Bears is Elijah Page at left tackle. Why am I now just like blacked out all of a sudden? Thank you. Tobias Raymond at left guard. Kilian O'Connor at center. Alani Noah at right guard. And the redshirt freshman from Huntington Beach, California, Justin Tanu, at right tackle. Now, him saying that both O'Connor and Reed will play, I truly believe. The question now is that once the twos come in, obviously, you don't want to overlook your opponent, but seemingly USC should get this, if we want to have a decent season this year, they should have this one in the bag fairly early on, and we should see a lot of different players. So does this mean we'll see Reed out there with the twos? And that's just kind of what he's alluding to? Or does this mean they want to try out some other combinations as the one unit? And I've mentioned before, like, maybe there's a world where John Ray Reed slides to guard. I mean, he's a big body. He's a good anchor. Like I said, he's played center, but, sliding over wouldn't maybe change a ton. And then you could put Tobias Raymond over at right tackle, where I think we all think is probably his best position. I think he'll be a great guard. I mean, the dude is just a big, great player, has everyone's raving about just his work ethic and everything he's done. So I think he'll be good at left guard. But as of this year, I feel like he would be best suited at right tackle. And that's more so I think he'd be best suited there, but also Justin Tana, who I'm very excited about, has a huge upside. But as a redshirt freshman, do you want to throw him in there as a starter yet? Maybe if you can give him another, even 6 weeks, give him a little more time. So that'll be the big question. Do we see Reed with the twos, or do we see Reed as a different combination with the ones? Or even just a simple O'Connor starts 3 series and then Reed comes in for 3 series. I mean, it could be that simple where they're still testing. One of the reasons why Riley said that O'Connor won the job was consistency. Just thought that O'Connor looked more consistent throughout camp. That's what you need through games, consistency. But I do still love Reed. I do still think he has a place on this team. And as we've seen over the last few years, the 5 you start the season with are not usually the 5 you play with the entire season, whether it's injuries, whether it's guys moving up and down based on skill level, whether it's matchups. So John Ray Reed will play for this team in some capacity. And we'll probably see guys like Michael Benuelos and others also slot in throughout the season. So, but as you have it, starting week 1, Kilian O'Connor at center, and most likely Elijah Page left tackle, Tobias Raymond left guard, Alani Noah right guard, Justin Tano right tackle. Hopefully I'm fully healed. I plan to be, so I will be there on Saturday, hopefully hang out with all of you guys. And obviously we'll have quick updates when we see these units warming up on the Coliseum field. But I cannot wait. The season is kicking off, and I am thrilled. Updates this week, 7 p.m. tomorrow night, Tim and I, call-in show. Bring your thoughts, questions, predictions. It is the game preview call-in show. Other videos, there is like 30 or so future recruits going to be at this game, week 1. There's all a video breaking all those down. 2027, 2028 recruits, so a lot of names there I'll throw out, so I'll have a video with that just to keep you updated on the whole recruiting trail. Thursday night, myself, the Madman, Tim, our buddy Will, who covers UCLA, we will be down in Long Beach for Coach's inaugural high school coaching debut for the Jordan High School Panthers in Long Beach, California, as they play Crenshaw. Cannot wait to be down there and cheer him on. Anyone that lives in the area that wants to come out, we'd love to see you come support. Throw us a fight on or whatever. We'd love to meet you, but also just come catch a fun football game on a Thursday night. Kind of random, a Thursday night game for high school football down at Jordan High School's brand new, beautiful football facility. I believe it's a blue turf, I think Coach was telling me. So come check that out. And then I believe Friday we'll have another preview show leading up to Saturday's game. And then Saturday post-game we'll have our live recap. Likely to be myself, Tim, and Coach, and we'll see if the Madman's there as well, and we'll try to get calls and guests and everyone and all that hoopla. So that's kind of what the week looks like. If you haven't already, hit that like and subscribe button. We're trying to get this thing to 6K. We'd love to get there to 6K before Saturday. You can certainly help us do that. Share this video with your friends. That certainly helps. If you want to support us even more, you can become a member here on YouTube, or you can go to LAFBNetwork.com and subscribe there. 20% of your subscription is going to be donated to helping youth sport initiatives right here in Los Angeles. One of those is with Anthony Beaver's after-school program that he was a part of called LA Best, helping youth sports after school. So we want to do something in our community, and you can be a part of that by not only helping support LAFB, but supporting some youth sports. But I'll wrap it up with that. So thank you guys, as always, for now with me. Big news from the Trojans. Starting center announced Kilian O'Connor. We'll be back with plenty more Trojans talk here on USC LAFB.